We all know that flowers are a Valentine's Day staple. What we don't know is how to make the beautiful bouquets that say, I love you. Cindy Miller is a professional designer, owner of Finleyville Flower Shop, and a lead instructor at Phipps Conservatory. And she's here to help us make our own arrangements. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, this is what we think of when we think of Valentine's Day, these big, gorgeous bouquets. Are these the most popular?
Oh, always roses are the most popular for Valentine's. I think it becomes an expected thing that red roses say I love you, and that's what people think immediately.
So if you do want to go that way, what should people think about when they're looking to buy roses?
Well, you know, there are all different kinds of roses. What costs the most about roses is the stem length. You buy them by the stem length, so the long stemmed roses are going to be more expensive than the shorter stemmed. And usually their heads are bigger, they're more showy. When they open, they just look more fantastic.
Okay.
That's a desirable thing, that they open and look big and showy. And so the other thing to look for in the roses is the coloration of them. In other words, this pink one has darker tips, and that's controlled by the climate and the light that's in the course of the growing period.
Well, if you don't want to spend you know, as much on roses, because they do cost more this time of year, don't they?
They always cost more, Valentine's.
Yeah, then there are some other ways to make some stunning bouquets, and you can even do it yourself, right?
Yes, these are so simple that you wouldn't even need a lesson, and it takes very little
All right,
skill.
well, we're going to get a lesson from you on with your great ideas, so show us what to do.
Okay. Well, I've started by greening some of these, and you know, everybody has seen those plastic picks that say happy whatever holiday it is. Well, that's not very creative, and when you're a designer, you look for creative things. So we have all these wonderful tools like this flat wire. It comes in all different colors. So rather than stick a plastic pick in there, I can just sort of make an implied heart from that, and then put that into the arrangement.
Isn't that neat?
And
is
that's
that something you just get like at a craft shop, just a wire?
Sure.
Isn't that cool?
And it comes in all colors, and it's a lot of fun. It's so versatile. You can bend it and maneuver it any which way.
Sure, you could probably make initials or something if you wanted to do that.
Exactly.
Cool.
And it adds an interesting element because it has a little bit of shine and it'll pick up the light.
Okay.
But all I did here was I mossed this. This
so
has
what did you start?
foam in.
Yeah, the inside is the foam.
It is the stuff that holds the water.
Let me scooch this one over so we can see that one too. So you got the foam in here, the kind that absorbs the water.
Yes.
All right, and then you put in there.
And we just covered that with a little bit of moss.
Okay.
And a little bit of fern.
Okay, you just stuck the fern right in there, and that's it.
And that's
easy.
that easy. And so then with just a few flowers, and placed at various heights.
Okay, so that's one of the keys, is the different levels here. I'm seeing you did different heights also with the hearts.
Yeah, that gives you a little more dimension to your arrangement.
How do you know how high proportion-wise? Is there a certain, I don't know, based on the vase?
No, there isn't. There used to be that belief, but really, you know, we do low in a tall vase, and we do tall in a so it's just...
You can't go wrong.
You just want to make sure it has visual balance.
Okay, and how do you check that? What does visual balance mean?
You know, you kind of get a feel. If it looks like it's top heavy, it's probably not visually balanced.
Okay, so you need more things down below then if it's...
Right, but there's really no formula that I could give you to say this is right and the other's wrong. It has to just feel right in the overall composition of it.
Okay, so just start plugging them in, and then you can always take them out if it doesn't come out the way you like it.
Exactly. You can take them out and recut them if you want to shorten them or maneuver them around wherever they work the best. But such an easy touch. And this is another type of moss. This is reindeer moss. I love this because of the texture.
Where do you buy that? Is that...
Craft stores have this as well.
Is it live or is it dead, or how does
it is a live product.
Do you need to keep that moist then, or wet?
You know, when you get it, it's in plastic. It lasts forever. It will eventually, over years, it'll harden, and then it's not, you know, it's supple, but I still use it even when it's
it just breaks up and it kind of adds a nice... Can I add a little more?
Sure, go right ahead.
Just adds a little pop of that bright green in there?
It does. When you add the chartreuse to the hot pink, it just really glows.
Okay. Now, I noticed you kind of stuck with a color theme. Is there a way to make sure you got the colors okay, or how would you suggest to get the colors right?
Of course, for Valentine's, most everybody's doing red or pink or burgundy and some purple, but, you know, color is like getting dressed in the morning. You know, if you can coordinate your shirt and your pants, you're in business.
You can do it, same with the arrangement. Okay,
exactly.
Tell me what you did with these ones here.
Well, I want to show you how I did this. This, again, it's an implied heart rather than a plastic pick that looks like a heart.
Cool.
And I just took 2 blades of grass. This is lily grass, and I have these little wooden picks.
I think I have things that look like this in my yard, too. Like daylilies almost.
Oh, it's kind of. It is. It's lily grass, so you may well have.
That's probably what it was. Okay, so tell me what you're doing here.
I just took a pick with a wire on it, and I'm wiring that pick to the end.
Let me show everybody real tight here. Okay, that's the pick. It comes like this at the craft store.
It does.
You just wrap the wire around it. It's real thin. Okay.
And then I can put that right down into the center. That's the center of my heart.
Okay, and that foam again.
And then judge where you have to cut the stem.
And you just stick the end in. And you want the harder end in this so that it'll stay in the foam, right?
That's
the stronger end.
That's right. The wimpy end won't. It needs that pick to hold it.
Look at how cute that is.
So you have an implied heart.
The heart.
Rather than a plastic pick, and it's so much more.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Creative.
And tell me what you did with all these different greeneries.
This is seeded eucalyptus, and I do love texture. I use so much texture. So I mixed that with the usual fern, and then there's a little bit of Galix leaf there. So this is a sort of European style of design, like we talked last time I was here.
Right. And these are just carnations?
Carnations, paved into there, and that is 3, and I sort of tried to get the implication of a heart there.
A heart too, yeah. And pave means what? They're very close together?
They're close together and down tight to the container, and it only took 3 flowers and some green. So this obviously would not cost a lot.
Sure.
Like the roses would.
Right.
And so if you're on a very tight budget, you still can do flowers. And
that's beautiful. I love it. All right, are we doing something with this one too?
And this one, I thought, let's move that back.
Sure.
I thought we would do some roses in one.
Okay.
And again, I'm going to cut them in varying lengths.
So for this, you wouldn't even need to get long stem because you're cutting them anyway.
That's right. It's a way to use the lesser expensive roses in a creative way.
Look how simple. And really you could take any kind of vase or bowl container that you have at home.
Yes.
Okay, I notice you're cutting the thorns off too a little bit.
A little bit. Anytime there's a thorn that's below the level that'll go into the oasis.
Oh, I see. That'll stop it from sliding in.
Well, it'll make a big hole in your oasis, which then compromises its integrity.
Okay.
So
How often do you want to keep the oasis watered, or how can you tell?
That's a really good question. You should water it every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and your flowers will last a lot longer if you do.
Look
so there we are with just 4 roses and a little bit of embellishment, and it really is so easy to do. It doesn't take any.
That is just gorgeous. And here's another one you did too, kind of similar too.
Yes, and I used another product besides the flat wire. I had some beaded wire, all these wonderful things that we have now at our disposal so that we can be more creative. We add color and texture and a little bit of shine and bling, and it's great. We even wrap this around the vases. I've wrapped it around this red vase, and it coordinates to the green roses. So and you're only limited by your imagination then.
And how did you curl these leaves here?
Well, I just took a piece of wire, wrapped the leaf around. I can do it again for you.
Sure.
Just rolled it that way and put a little piece of wire that's like a straight pin right over top of that spine of the leaf.
It is really just like a straight pin here. Let me hold it where people. Whoopsies, that's okay.
Didn't catch it.
Okay, so you go in like that, and then you just go right through.
Right, just pin it.
Oh, I see.
Make sure you catch the spine of the leaf.
Oh, I got it. It does feel like using a straight pin. Hold on. Oh, that's funky. Oh, wow, that is cool. All right, while we do that, let me look at some of the other pictures you brought, or that we have to show everybody of some other arrangements. Oh, wow, this is gorgeous. Look at this wedding.
Well, this was about the events that I do, and this happened to be up on the West End Overlook. And it was a fall wedding, so the fall color palette is really stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, so you did all those are real flowers above that.
Yes, they are.
Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and the bouquets, and look at, oh my goodness.
And this wedding was in Texas, Houston, Texas, and I went there to do that, and it was a very formal garden. It was a beautiful setting.
What are the big blue flowers there?
Hydrangea.
Hydrangeas,
and
wow.
they were so showy and outstanding. And
yeah, they really are. That is spectacular.
And this was a bouquet for a wedding that we did in Philadelphia at the Ritz-Carlton. It was just beautiful.
My goodness, you get to travel all over for the
I
flowers.
do, and that's one of my favorite parts, is going everywhere.
Yeah.
That's also the Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia. That's the centerpiece they used.
Oh, isn't that exquisite? What flowers are those in there?
Those are orchids.
Orchids. Oh, wow, that is spectacular, and that goes with the white theme. What's this one?
This girl was more like a garden wedding, and I mean, you know, like very informal. And she loved sunflowers. It was her favorite flower. The blue in that bouquet is almost perfect to the color of her eyes, and I just love that photograph because it totally picks that up.
It sure does. And wow, look at this one.
This one was a beach wedding that we did down at St. Pete's Beach. It was my first beach wedding, and I hope to do loads more of those. And it was lots of fun.
Are there flowers in that one?
There are. Her bouquet. There were. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have a good photograph of the flowers down the aisle that we formed in the sand, but the hoop, or the little framework, was made by the groom, handmade, and then we just draped that off to give it that billowy cloth look. That's where they stood when they took their vows.
Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Well, you make beautiful creations, Cindy. Thank you for sharing your ideas with us this morning. And if you'd like Cindy to help you with your special event or to send flowers to someone special, you can contact her at her South Hill shop, Finleyville Flower Shop. Look for the link at kdka.com/PTL.